Hi, I'm Chris Digirolamo, and I work at Maggiano, DiGirolamo and Lizzi. We're a personal injury firm in Fort Lee with offices also in the Bronx. We handle all kinds of personal injury cases, including workers' compensation. And what I'd like to discuss today is the difference between a traditional personal injury case and a workers' compensation case. In personal injury cases, they involve automobile accidents, fall downs, any sort of a medical malpractice case. Anytime you get injured, you bring a personal injury case. Now, a work-related injury case, also known as a workers' compensation case, is different because there are different standards of what kind of benefits you can get. When you sue for a car accident, you're primarily suing for pain and suffering. There is no pain and suffering claim in workers' compensation. Instead, you are entitled to get 3 benefits. Those 3 benefits are your medical treatment paid by your employer's workers' compensation carrier at 100%, no deductible, no copayment. You get temporary disability payments, which is 70% of your gross wages tax-free, as long as a doctor in the workers' compensation case disables you. And then the third benefit you're entitled to in workers' compensation is a cash award for partial permanent disability. That does not include pain and suffering. It includes a percentage of partial disability. That percentage is translated into dollars on a chart set out by the state of New Jersey. You are entitled to get treatment in a workers' compensation case just like you would in a traditional automobile case or a personal injury case, but the difference is because workers' compensation is paying for the treatment, they control the doctors you see. They use their own network of doctors. You can't go out and pick your own. Workers' compensation will not authorize that. Also, the main difference with workers' compensation is as long as the doctor for the case who's authorized disables you, you will get paid temporary disability benefits every week as long as that doctor continues to disable you and continues to provide you with authorized medical care. That typically doesn't happen in a traditional personal injury case. The other thing is when you treat with doctors in a personal injury case, those doctors typically become your medical experts. In workers' compensation, at the end of your treatment, you are sent to forensic doctors to determine a level of partial permanent disability. Those doctors become your experts. So there are significant differences between the 2 cases, even though both cases fall within a personal injury lawyer's expertise. My firm handles both of those cases. A lot of firms handle only one or the other. We specialize in personal injury, and that includes work-related injury cases. Where it gets really interesting and sometimes complicated is when somebody, while they're working, gets in, for example, an automobile case, an accident, or they get hurt while at the job due to a third party's negligence. In that case, you'd actually have both a personal injury case and a workers' comp case. You would have your primary care and your treatment would be controlled by workers' comp, but you'd have 2 claims, one for the personal injury side, which is your conscious pain and suffering, and the other claim is for your partial percentage of disability through the workers' comp case. It gets complicated, and what we have found over the years is that your best way to protect yourself is to hire one attorney who's well-versed in handling personal injury as well as workers' comp. I have been doing both personal injury and workers' comp for over 30 years. I am a specialist in both fields, so when I handle a case of personal injury with a workers' comp component, I know what to do to make sure that both benefits are maximized to the most extent that the client is entitled to. And it gets complicated. There are liens involved to pay back medical bills that have to come out of the third-party liability case, and it gets very complicated. The laws are ever changing, so in order to protect yourself, you really must find an attorney who can handle both cases. It's very difficult to have one attorney do the personal injury and another attorney do the workers' comp. So when there is a combination, really you need to find an expert in both fields. And we do that, and as I said, we have made it really our professional responsibility to learn every single element of both cases, how to prove each damage in each case, how to utilize the medical experts to the best advantage of the client. So those are 2 different types of personal injury type cases. However, they are important, and when you get hurt on a job site, you have benefits that are different than you would in a traditional automobile accident case, and so you need to find a specialist who knows how to protect you under all circumstances involving personal injury and in a workers' comp setting.